So, what actually makes a great leader? I mean, really, it's a huge question, right? People have been debating it forever. Well, today, we're going to dig into it with a really cool modern framework, one that kind of moves past all the usual stuff you hear. And to get there, we've got to start with the one question that's dominated this whole conversation for decades.
All right, first things first. We have to talk about that classic debate. You know the one I'm talking about. It's all about where leaders come from.
So where do you stand on this? Are great leaders just born that way, like they pop out with some natural talent? Or is it something you can build, like a muscle, through pure hard work and experience? This is really the core question, isn't it?
And yeah, you can really see the two camps here. On one side, you've got the born argument. It's all about those innate qualities, right? That natural charisma you just can't teach. Then, on the other hand, the made camp says, nope, it's a skill you develop. It's all about practice, training, and learning how to do it. And honestly, for the longest time, the whole discussion was just stuck right there, going back and forth.
But what if that's the completely wrong question to be asking? Seriously, what if this whole either-or thing is just way too simple for something as complicated as leadership? Because this is where things start to get really interesting.
Okay, so let's pull the camera back a bit. Let's look at the bigger picture. Because here's the thing, leadership doesn't happen in a bubble. It is not a solo act.
And this is so important. Leadership is totally shaped by the world around it. I'm talking about what society needs, the culture we're all a part of, the values a group shares. It means that leaders and followers are both shaped by their environment. It's way more of a dynamic dance between them, not just one person leading the way.
So if we agree to move past that born or made debate, where do we go from there? Well, a much more helpful way to look at it is to think about the different types of leadership that pop up depending on the situation. Let's jump into a modern framework that gives us 3 key styles to think about.
All right, first on the list is something called induced leadership. Basically, this is leadership that's born out of necessity. A sudden crisis hits, or some unexpected problem just lands in your lap. The person who just steps up and says, okay, here's what we're gonna do. That is induced leadership. It's totally reactive, it's situational, and it's all about fixing an immediate problem.
Then you've got purposive leadership, and this one is completely different. It's the leadership of vision. So instead of reacting to a problem, this is about getting out ahead of things, moving towards a shared goal. This is the kind of leader who gets everyone fired up about a mission, a really clear why that makes the whole team want to push forward together.
And rounding out our 3 types, we have macro, or global leadership. And wow, is this one relevant today? This is all about handling crazy complexity on a massive scale. Think about it, working with people from different cultures, trying to understand these huge interconnected global systems, and tackling problems that literally cross borders, like, say, a pandemic or climate change.
So you might be asking, why are these 3 types so important right now? The answer is pretty simple, actually. It's because they are a direct response to the crazy pressures of the world we're living in.
I mean, think about our world. It's defined by 3 big things, right? First, volatility, where everything can get flipped upside down in a second. Second, global interconnectedness, where something happening halfway across the world can affect you tomorrow. And of course, just constant, rapid change. So you see how it fits. That volatility, it demands induced leaders to handle crises. That interconnectedness, it needs global leaders to connect the dots. And all that change, well, that requires purposive leadership to give us a clear direction.
And that right there is the main takeaway. There's no single best kind of leader, it just doesn't exist. The truly effective leader is flexible. They can read the room, read the situation, and know what's needed. Is it time to solve a fire, inspire a big vision, or connect a bunch of complicated systems? It's all about adapting your style to what's happening right now.
And this really brings it all back home, doesn't it? It puts the focus back on us, on the choices we make. And it doesn't matter if you have a fancy title or not.
So let's just forget about that whole born or made thing for a second. Maybe the real question, the better question, is this. In a world that is always changing, what kind of leader are you going to choose to be? Are you going to be the person who steps up in a crisis? The one who inspires people with a vision for the future? Or the one who builds bridges and connects the dots? Because at the end of the day, where leaders come from isn't nearly as important as the kind of leader you decide to become.